The morning of my wedding, I discovered my best man had been texting my fiancée all night. "I'll miss us," she wrote. "One last time before you're trapped," he replied. I screenshot everything, showed it during my speech. 2 people left in tears. 200 people watched my fiancée's mascara run down her face in real time. Black streaks cutting through $400 worth of professional makeup. White dress she'd spent 8 months obsessing over, now bunched in her fists as she gripped a tablecloth like it was the only thing keeping her upright. The string quartet had stopped mid-song. The caterers froze with champagne bottles in their hands, and I just stood there at the head table, phone connected to the venue's Bluetooth speakers, reading text messages out loud to everyone we'd ever known. "One last time before I'm trapped." That's what you wrote to him, Amanda, at 11:47 last night while I was downstairs making sure the seating chart was perfect. She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. Jordan, my best friend since 6th grade, best man at my wedding, the guy who'd given a speech about loyalty and brotherhood not 15 minutes earlier, was trying to push past my brother Marcus at the exit door. Marcus wasn't moving. 6'3", 240 pounds of former defensive lineman, arms crossed, face like stone. "Let me go, man. This is between them." "Nah." Marcus didn't even look at him. "You're gonna stay for the whole show. You earned it." I scrolled to the next message. "He's so clueless, it's almost sad." That was March 14th, the day I proposed. "Remember that, Amanda? I took you to the lighthouse where we had our first kiss. Got down on one knee. You cried and said yes and told me I was everything you ever wanted." Her father had already left. Walked out without a word the moment I started reading. Her mother was still seated, frozen, hand over her mouth. Her sister was crying. "And that same night, you texted Jordan. He actually thinks I'm happy. This is going to be easier than I thought." Amanda finally found her voice. "Ryan, please, stop. We can talk about this. We can what? Work through it?" I laughed. It sounded wrong even to me. "You slept with my best friend 17 times in 3 months. You joked about me. You planned around me. You looked me in the eyes every single day and lied." I turned to the crowd. 200 faces, family, friends, co-workers, people who'd traveled from 3 different states to watch me marry the love of my life. I found out 6 hours ago. His iPad was synced to his phone. I saw everything. Silence, the kind that has weight. I thought about canceling, running, disappearing, but then I realized you all deserve to know. Every single person who bought a gift, booked a flight, took time off work to celebrate us. You deserve to know exactly who you were celebrating. I looked at Amanda one more time. "By the way, we're not married. I canceled the license this morning. This whole ceremony was theater." I pulled the ring off my finger, the one that matched hers, set it on the table with a soft clink. "Keep the dress. You're going to need something to remember this by." I walked out. Didn't look back. My name is Ryan Castellano, 32 years old. Software architect at a tech company downtown. Normal life, normal job, normal everything. I met Amanda Price at a friend's birthday party 4 years ago. She was 27, worked in pharmaceutical sales, had this smile that could stop traffic. We talked for 3 hours that first night. I got her number, called the next day. Our first date was coffee. Our second was dinner. By the third, I knew I was going to marry her. She was everything I thought I wanted. Smart, funny, ambitious, the kind of person who remembered details. Your favorite restaurant, your mom's birthday, the name of your childhood dog. She made you feel seen. We moved in together after a year, got engaged after 3, planned the wedding for 18 months because she wanted everything perfect, and I gave it to her. The venue was a restored Victorian estate 40 minutes outside the city. Gardens, gazebo, string lights in the trees, $35,000 for the day. I'd worked overtime for 6 months to afford the ring. Princess cut, 1.2 carats, platinum band. Another 8 months to save for the wedding she dreamed of. I didn't mind. I loved her. I would have worked twice as hard for half as much. Jordan Reeves had been my best friend since we were 11 years old. We met in 6th grade, bonded over video games and basketball, stayed close through high school, college, our 20s. He was there when my dad died, there when I got my first real job, there when I proposed to Amanda and needed someone to celebrate with. He was supposed to be there for the rest of my life. Best man. Godfather to our future kids. Uncle Jordan at Thanksgiving, Christmas, every milestone that mattered. I trusted him completely. That was my mistake. The red flags started about 4 months before the wedding. I didn't see them as red flags at the time. That's how it works, right? You trust someone, so you explain away the things that don't fit. You make excuses. You tell yourself you're being paranoid. First flag. Amanda started working late. Not unusual, exactly. Her job was demanding. Quarterly targets, client dinners, a whole pharmaceutical sales grind. But the late nights increased. 3 times a week became 4. 4 became 5. "It's just until the merger closes," she said. "Things will calm down after that." They didn't. Second flag. She got protective of her phone. Used to leave it everywhere. On the kitchen counter, the bathroom sink, face up on the couch. Now it was always face down. Always with her. She'd take it to the bathroom to shower. Put it under her pillow at night. "New work policy," she explained when I mentioned it. "Client confidentiality stuff. They're paranoid about data breaches." I bought it. Why wouldn't I? Third flag. Jordan started coming around more. This one actually made me happy at first. We drifted a bit after college. Different careers, different schedules. But suddenly he was at our place every week. Dinner on Thursdays, football on Sundays, random drop-bys to help with wedding stuff. "It's sweet," Amanda said. "He wants to be involved. He really loves you." Yeah, he really did. Fourth flag. Amanda seemed different somehow. Distant, distracted. I'd be talking and catch her staring at nothing. Smile fading, mind somewhere else entirely. She'd snap back when I said her name. "Sorry, what?" And I'd have to repeat everything. Wedding stress. dress, she said. So many details. My brain is fried. I massaged her shoulders, told her we'd get through it together, made dinner so she wouldn't have to think. I was a good fiancé. She was not a good fiancé. The rehearsal dinner was Friday night. 30 people at a nice Italian place downtown. Family, wedding party, close friends. Amanda looked beautiful in this blue dress she'd bought specifically for the occasion. Jordan gave a preview toast. Funny, warm, exactly what you'd want from a best man. To Ryan and Amanda, the two best people I know, I'm honored to stand next to you tomorrow. We all clinked glasses. Amanda smiled at me across the table, squeezed my hand. I love you, she said. I love you too. Jordan drove to the dinner, but had too much wine to drive home. Classic Jordan, never knew his limits. I told him to crash at our place. Amanda was staying at her parents' house anyway. Bridal tradition. Thanks, bro. He hugged me too long. Looking back, I think he was trying not to cry. You're the best friend anyone could ask for. Back at you, man. See you in the morning. We drove home. I showed him the guest room. He passed out in his clothes. I brushed my teeth, set my alarm for 6 a.m. and went to bed. Alone. For the last time before I was married. Except I wasn't getting married. I just didn't know it yet. I woke at 5:47 a.m. Couldn't sleep. Too wired. The biggest day of my life was starting in a few hours and my brain wouldn't shut off. I grabbed my phone from the nightstand. Wanted to check the weather. We were doing an outdoor ceremony and the forecast had been threatening rain all week. That's when I saw the iPad. Jordan's iPad, sitting on the guest room nightstand where he'd left it. The door was open. I could see him passed out on the bed, still in last night's clothes, snoring. The screen lit up with a notification, a text message from Amanda. Last night was perfect. I needed that before everything changes. I stood in the doorway for maybe 30 seconds, just staring at those words, trying to make them mean something else. They didn't. My hands were shaking when I picked up the iPad. His messages were synced to it. Everything from his phone, right there on the screen. I scrolled up and my entire life collapsed. 3 months of messages. 3 months. They'd started in March, right after the engagement party. Amanda had texted Jordan first. That was fun tonight. We should hang out more. Just us. Innocent enough. Or so it seemed. By April, the messages had shifted. More personal, more intimate. Inside jokes I wasn't part of. Late night conversations that went on for hours. Can't stop thinking about you. That was Jordan. April 14th. Me neither. This is crazy. That was Amanda. It doesn't have to be crazy. We can figure it out. I'm engaged, Jordan. I know, but you don't seem happy. She didn't deny it. By May, they were meeting up. Coffee at first, then lunch, then hotels, the Marriott on 5th Street, the Hyatt near the airport, a bed and breakfast in wine country that I'd been planning to take her to for our honeymoon. They'd already been together in April. I found the receipts in the messages. 189s, 212, 347ers, rooms booked under his name, paid in cash, careful, methodical. And the whole time I was home, working overtime, saving money, planning the perfect wedding for a woman who was sleeping with my best friend. The worst messages were the recent ones. June 8th, 3 days before the wedding. Jordan, are you sure you want to go through with this? Amanda, I don't have a choice. Everything's paid for. Our families would be devastated. Jordan, what about us? Amanda, we can figure it out after. Once things settle down, he travels for work. We'll find time. Jordan, so you're really going to marry him? Amanda, it's not like I love him. Not the way I love you. He's just safe, stable, the kind of guy you're supposed to marry. Jordan, and then? Amanda, and then we keep doing what we're doing. He'll never know. He's too trusting. Too trusting. That phrase echoed in my head as I scrolled. She was right. I was too trusting. I trusted her with everything. My heart, my future, my life, and she'd handed it all to someone else while I wasn't looking. The night before my wedding, while I was downstairs triple-checking the seating chart, Amanda had snuck out to meet Jordan at a hotel 3 blocks from her parents' house. One last time, she'd written. Before I'm trapped. Trapped. That's what marrying me was. A trap. I screenshot everything. Every message, every photo, every receipt and confession and declaration of love that should have been mine. Sent it all to my phone. Cleared the notification on his iPad. Put it back exactly where it was. Jordan was still snoring. I walked back to my room, sat on the edge of the bed, stared at the wall until the sun came up, and then I made a decision. The obvious move was to cancel everything. Call Amanda. Call Jordan. Have the confrontation. Scream. Cry. Throw things. Cancel the venue. Return the gifts. Explain to 200 people that the wedding was off because my fiancé was a liar and my best friend was a traitor. That's what a normal person would do. But I wasn't feeling normal. I was feeling cold, calculating. A kind of calm I'd never experienced before, like all the emotions had been flash frozen and stored somewhere I couldn't access them. I didn't want a private confrontation. I wanted witnesses. I wanted everyone who'd ever told me how lucky I was, how perfect Amanda was, how solid our relationship seemed. I wanted them all to see exactly who she really was. At 7:15 a.m., I called the county clerk's office, got the emergency line. I need to cancel a marriage license application. The woman on the phone was confused. Sir, your wedding is today. The license is already processed. I understand. I'm withdrawing the application, effective immediately. May I ask why? Personal reasons. She processed it, confirmed the cancellation. No marriage would be recorded, no matter what happened at the ceremony. Amanda Price and Ryan Castellano would not be legally wed. At 7:45, I texted Amanda, can't wait to see you today. I love you. She responded with heart emojis. At 8, cool. I went to wake Jordan up. Big day, brother. He was hungover, groaning, squinting at the light. How you feeling? Never better, I said. Come on, let's go get me married. The morning passed in a surreal blur. I showered, got dressed, put on the tuxedo I'd rented 2 months ago, stood in front of the mirror and practiced smiling until it looked real. Jordan Jordan drove us to the venue, cracked jokes the whole way about bachelor freedom ending, about married life, about how I was locking down the best woman in the world. I laughed at all of them. The photographer captured everything. Me and the groomsmen, me and Jordan, me adjusting my tie, checking my watch, looking appropriately nervous. I wasn't nervous. I knew exactly what was going to happen. At 2:30 p.m., the string quartet started. Guests took their seats. 200 people in white folding chairs facing a gazebo draped in roses. At 2:45, the bridesmaids walked down the aisle. Amanda's friends, women who'd helped her pick out her dress, plan her bachelorette party, cover her lies. At 3 hours, Amanda appeared. She was beautiful. White dress, cathedral train, veil covering her face. Her father walked her down the aisle while the quartet played Pachelbel's canon. She was crying. Happy tears, everyone thought. I stood at the altar, watched her approach, smiled when she reached me. "You look amazing," I whispered. "So do you." She squeezed my hands. "I can't believe this is really happening." "Neither can I." The ceremony proceeded. Readings, prayers, the standard script. I said my vows, wrote them myself, talked about love, partnership, building a life together. Every word was true. That was the thing. I'd meant all of it. She just hadn't. When it was her turn, Amanda pulled out handwritten notes. Her voice shook. "Ryan, from the moment I met you, I knew you were special. You make me feel safe. You make me feel loved. You're my best friend, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you." She was so good at lying. I'd never noticed before. The officiant reached the end. "By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife." Except he didn't have that power, because there was no license. We kissed. Everyone cheered. Jordan clapped so hard I could hear it over the music, and I smiled, because the real show was just about to start. The reception was in a grand ballroom adjacent to the gardens. White linens, crystal glasses, a 17-piece band Amanda had insisted on because live music makes everything more magical. 200 place settings, 30 tables, a dance floor that would never be used. Dinner came first. Filet mignon, salmon, vegetarian risotto. I ate nothing. Pushed food around my plate while Jordan sat 3 seats away, laughing at something a bridesmaid said. Amanda kept touching my arm. "Are you okay? You've barely eaten." "Just overwhelmed. Happiest day of my life." She kissed my cheek. Mine too. The lies came so easily for her. Toast time arrived. The DJ handed Jordan a microphone. He stood, adjusted his boutonniere, and faced the crowd. "For those who don't know me, I'm Jordan, Ryan's best friend since 6th grade. We've been through everything together. Good times, bad times, everything in between." He looked at me, smiled, the smile I'd trusted for 20 years. "Ryan is the most loyal person I know. The kind of guy who shows up no matter what, who gives everything he has, who loves completely without reservation." He raised his glass. "And Amanda, you're the luckiest woman in the world to have him. I've watched your relationship grow from the beginning, and I can honestly say I've never seen two people more perfect for each other." Everyone clapped. Amanda wiped her eyes. I almost felt bad for what I was about to do. Almost. When Jordan sat down, I stood up, clinked my glass. The room quieted. 200 faces turned toward me, expectant, happy, ready for a heartfelt speech from the groom. "Thank you all for being here. This day means more to me than I can express. Seeing all of you, family, friends, people we love, gathered together to celebrate, well, it's everything I ever wanted." Smiles, nods. Amanda reached for my hand. I pulled away. "But before we go any further, there's something you all need to know." The smile froze on Amanda's face. Jordan's eyes narrowed slightly. "I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning. Couldn't sleep. Grabbed my phone to check the weather, and I saw something that changed everything." I pulled out my phone, connected to the venue's Bluetooth speakers. Jordan left his iPad at my place last night. His messages were synced, and I found 3 months of text between him and my wife. The word wife came out bitter. "Wrong. Actually, she's not my wife. We never signed the papers. I canceled the license this morning." Gasps, murmurs. Amanda's mother's hand flew to her mouth. "I thought you all deserved to know who you were celebrating, so let me read you some highlights." I started scrolling. March 23rd, Amanda to Jordan. "I can't stop thinking about last night. When can I see you again?" Amanda stood. "Ryan, don't do this. Please." April 14th, Jordan to Amanda. "The hotel was perfect. Next time let's try that place in wine country." "Bro, stop." Jordan was on his feet now. "Let's talk about this." "Not here." "Not here?" I laughed. "You slept with my fiancé in 17 different hotels. You made plans under my roof. You stood next to me today and gave a speech about loyalty. No, we're doing this here, in front of everyone." I kept reading. June 8th, Amanda to Jordan. "It's not like I love him. He's just safe, stable, the kind of guy you're supposed to marry." Amanda was crying now. Real tears, finally. Her hands were shaking. June 10th, last night, Amanda to Jordan. "One last time before I'm trapped." I looked at her. Trapped. That's what marrying me was. A trap. Her father had already left, walked out somewhere during the readings. Her mother was frozen. Her sister was sobbing. Jordan tried to make a break for the exit. My brother Marcus locked the door, arms crossed, face immovable. "You're staying," Marcus said. "Deal with it." Jordan looked around the room. 200 witnesses. Every exit covered. Nowhere to go. I turned back to Amanda. "You lied to me. Every day. Every I love you. Every plan we made. Every time you looked me in the eyes and told me I was your forever." She couldn't speak. Just stood there. Mascara streak. Shaking. "And you." I looked at Jordan. 20 years. 20 years of friendship. "And this is how you repay it?" "It just happened, man. We didn't plan." "You booked 17 hotel rooms. You scheduled around my work trips. You texted her every night from 3 feet away while I slept." I held up my phone. "I have receipts, Jordan." Literally. He had nothing to say. I pulled off my wedding ring. Set it on the table. "Keep the dress. Keep the ring. Keep each other." I looked at Amanda one last last time. You deserve what you get. I walked out of the ballroom. Didn't look back. The aftermath was nuclear. My brother told me what happened after I left. Amanda collapsed into a chair, sobbing. Jordan tried to leave again. Marcus finally let him. Half the guests walked out within 10 minutes. The other half stayed, stunned, unsure what to do. Amanda's mother had to be helped to a car. Her father never came back. The caterers didn't know whether to keep serving food. The 17-piece band played to an empty dance floor for 20 minutes before someone finally told them to stop. I went home, changed out of my tuxedo, sat on the couch in the dark for 3 hours. My phone blew up. Texts, calls, voicemails. I ignored all of them, except one, from Amanda, at 11:47 p.m. You didn't have to do it like that. I know what I did was wrong, but that was cruel. I typed back, so was lying to me for 3 months. I blocked her number, then Jordan's, then started working through the list of anyone who might try to defend them. The next few weeks were a blur. I took time off work, told my boss there'd been a family emergency. He didn't ask questions. Word had already spread. Someone from the office had been at the wedding. By Monday morning, everyone knew. The gifts got returned. $47,000 worth of kitchen appliances, bedding, and honeymoon fund contributions, all sent back with polite notes explaining that the wedding had been unexpectedly canceled. The venue offered a partial refund, $8,000 out of $35,000. Extenuating circumstances, they said. Better than nothing. Amanda's name came off the lease. She'd been staying at her parents' house anyway. She just never moved back. I didn't ask where she went. Didn't care. Jordan reached out once. A long text explaining that it wasn't planned, that they just connected, that he was sorry it happened this way. I didn't respond. 3 weeks later, I got a call from a lawyer. Amanda was trying to recover some of her wedding expenses. She'd put deposits on things. The florist, the photographer, the dress. My lawyer, Patricia Hendricks, handled it. 17 years of family law experience. She reviewed the messages I'd saved, the receipts, the timeline. She doesn't have a case, Patricia told me. If anything, you could pursue her for emotional damages, the documented deception, the financial exploitation. Courts take that seriously. I don't want money. I just want it to be over. Then it's over. I'll send them a letter explaining she has no grounds. They'll go away. They did. The thing about public humiliation is that it spreads. Amanda worked in pharmaceutical sales, a reputation-based industry. Within 2 weeks, her colleagues knew. Within a month, her clients did. She got restructured out of her position in August. That's the corporate term for, we can't fire you for being a cheater, but we can eliminate your role. Jordan had it worse. He worked in real estate, specifically high-end residential real estate, where trust is everything. His face was all over his marketing materials. Jordan Reeves, your honest partner in home buying. Someone from the wedding forwarded screenshots to his brokerage, then to a local real estate Facebook group, then to a reviewer who left detailed comments on his Zillow page. His sales dropped 70% in 3 months. His brokerage mutually agreed to part ways in September. I didn't do any of that. I just told the truth. Other people did the rest. Amanda and Jordan tried to make it work. I heard about it secondhand, from mutual friends who didn't know they were supposed to pick sides. They moved in together in October, an apartment downtown, smaller than what either of them was used to. It lasted 4 months. Turns out relationships built on deception don't have the strongest foundations. Who knew? She moved back in with her parents. He moved to another state. Last I heard, she was dating someone new, another safe guy, according to the rumor mill. I hope she doesn't do to him what she did to me, but I'm not optimistic. A year later, I'm doing okay. Not great, not healed, but okay. The anger faded around month 6. The sadness took longer. There were nights I couldn't sleep, days I couldn't focus, moments where I'd catch myself reaching for a phone to text someone who no longer existed in my life. I started seeing a therapist, Dr. Marcus Rivera, psychologist specializing in relationship trauma. He helped me understand that what Amanda and Jordan did wasn't my fault, that trusting people isn't a weakness, that being betrayed says more about them than it does about me. You did something remarkable, he told me during one session. Most people would have imploded privately. You stood up for yourself publicly. That takes courage. It felt like cruelty, I admitted. Maybe. But cruelty would have been suffering in silence while they built a life on your pain. He leaned forward. You chose visibility. You chose truth. That's not cruel. That's self-respect.